Alright guys, welcome to chapter 2, niche analysis. In this chapter, I am going to be going over ways for you to find yourself a golden niche that has great opportunity to grow and build leads from. It's important to select the right niche so you don't waste your time and money doing SEO for niches that aren't going to convert. You just don't want to get burnt out, guys, because SEO is a long process. It may take a couple months, and if you get in the wrong niche off the bat, you don't really want to go back and repeat your mistakes. So just remember that. All right, well, let's jump straight into this. Okay, so you want to select a niche that has the following characteristics, and don't overcomplicate this. The niche first has to convert at a high ROI per lead, and also it has to have very low competition in Google. You don't want to be spending 6, 7, 8 months trying to rank a website for something very competitive. It just takes a lot of time. Why not get 2 or 3 web properties up in low competition and start getting leads right away? Alright, let's take a look at some good and bad examples. First off, with the good high ticket services, let's check out the Laser Eye Surgeon. Now imagine if you got one of these guys a lead. How much do you think it's worth to them? When I checked, it was worth around $1.5 to $3,000. Now that's a lot of money per phone call. So imagine how much you could be worth to them if you're generating 2, 3, 4 leads a month for them. That's a lot of value, guys, so remember that. And also look at the drug rehab niche. You can give them up to $30,000 per phone call. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I have a deal right now where I'm getting 10% of every lead I give to this one drug rehab center. So they're getting a phone call, they convert it, they get 20 to 30,000, I'm getting 10%. It's a really, really sweet deal, and I'm very excited about it. So when you're looking for good niches, aim for the sky. Get for the ones that are huge, like $10,000, $15,000 per phone call. Because even if you just generate one of those for a company, they're going to be so happy that they're working with you, and they're going to want to pay you for a really long time. And it's a win-win for both parties. Okay, so let's take a look at the bad examples now. How much do you think a flower shop makes per sale? Per flower? Probably what? $4 a rose. Let's say they buy a dozen roses. They're making what? A whopping $20. Now, how much value are you going to bring this company if you're giving them 10, 15 phone calls a month worth $20? Do you really want to be worth about $400 to $500 for all the hard work you're going to do? I don't think so. Don't be a wallflower, guys. I actually just made that up. Let's look at the pizza example. Let's say you bring them, $1,000 in sales a month, and you're getting what, 10% of that? So you're making what, $100 for all the hard work? Yeah, let's try and stay away from these low ticket sales, guys. So shoot for the sky, and if you fail, you can always go to the smaller niches where there's not a lot of competition. So just remember that. Okay, so if you go to my website and click this link, I will have my top 50 niches that I feel convert the best with this model. Now within these niches, the business owners actually understand lead generation, I feel, and they're usually desperate to have their phone ring. And most of them have no idea what and how internet marketing works. So if you can approach them with the right model like this, you're golden. So just go through that list, find one or two that speaks to you, and just give it a shot. My best advice is to take imperfect action. And remember that you don't have to be perfect with this. Just go out there and do it. Throw something against the wall and let's see if it sticks. It's also very important to think outside of the box with these niches. You guys must be creative on this. If you plan on going into the DUI lawyer niche or the general plumbing niche, well, guess what? You guys are in for a treat because there's been so many companies marketing in these niches for the past couple years that they've already established themselves in the top spots. And they've spent a lot of money and time to get there. Now that's no fun. So let's try and stick away from these general niches and niche down. So let me explain about niching down. Let's take a look at the plumbing, for example. Okay, so let's say your niche, you want to pick plumbing. Now, you want to rank for the term city plumber. That's going to be tough. And if you make a lead, it's going to be about $300. So let's say you niche down from that and you go to the commercial plumber. So you want to rank for something like city commercial plumber or best commercial plumber in city. Now, if you get one of those leads, it's probably going to be around $10,000, which is pretty good, and it's probably still going to have a lot of competition. But let's take a look at this example. Now, a grease trap interceptor is something that you have to put into the ground at each restaurant, and it's required by the state. Now what this does is it traps all the grease from going into the sewer. And from my experience, these things cost about $20,000 to $30,000 to install because a plumbing company has to hire a huge crane, a huge crew to dig out the hole, put the grease interceptor inside the ground and cover it up and put cement over it. Now that totals to about $20,000-$30,000, like I said. So what if you can dominate this niche, gain all the rankings on the first page, and just destroy it? Now that's going to be pretty effective for someone who installs these. So when you look at niches, just remember to niche down as much as possible and you're going to have the most success. Okay, here are the tools I use for finding the perfect niches and keywords to get into. Now let's take a look at each tool and I will demonstrate how I use them to get the best results possible. The first tool is the Google Keyword Planner. Now this tool is brought to us by Google and it is free. It is mostly used for AdWord campaigns, but a lot of SEOs will use it to reverse engineer the whole process and find keywords that are golden nuggets with low competition. Now let me walk you through how I use this tool. Okay, so we're inside the Google Keyword Planner. So what we're going to do is want to search for some keywords. So this is where you want to think of ideas and be creative. Just click search for new keyword and let's go for San Clemente dentist. So let's take a look here and see what it brings up. So you want to do by relevance. Okay, looks like right here they got some good keywords. So there's a lot of searches for these keywords, but a lot of these are going to be pretty competitive. So I guarantee you dentist San Clemente is going to be competitive. So why don't we try and niche down a little bit and find something else. So let's see here. Pediatric dentist, that could be a good one. Oh, here we go. Let's try emergency dentist San Clemente. You know, I'm sure not a lot of people are actually going after this in the searches as far as SEOs, and it could be really good return on investment. Because I know if you have an emergency and you have to go to the dentist, it's probably going to cost around $1,000. So let's take this keyword and throw it into Google and see what we get. Okay, so here we go. Verbal. 1 second, let me just get through this. Okay, so see this tool? This is actually a plugin I use. It's called SEO Quake, and it's just an add-on for Firefox. See here, it's on. And what it does is it gives you up-to-the-minute diagnostics of all the information you need to review the website. So you don't really need to look at the PR. Mostly just look at how many pages are indexed and how many links are pointing to the website. That'll give you a good representation of how good that website is optimized and what you're going to need to do to outrank it. So let's see here. It looks like there's a Yelp. There's a directory for dental. There's a local website, another local website. Okay, there's some YouTube videos. That's good. That means that it's pretty easy to get into the top page. Local. So it looks like this might not be too hard to get into the top spots here. So what I usually do is take the first couple of rankings and throw them into some tools I use. These tools are majestic.com and ahrefs.com. That's ahrefs.com. Now these tools are paid, but they provide lots of crucial data that you're going to need to analyze all these websites. So let's take this first ranking and throw it into Majestic and see what we got. So what I'm going to do is copy the URL, and let's see here. See what we can get. Okay, so it has a pretty good trust flow and citation flow. Yeah, look at the referring domains. It's at 0. So what this means is this URL is ranking high on Google because of the domain authority or the homepage juice right here. So this page in general, this URL, has no links pointing to it. That means it may be really easy to rank for this term in Google because this is ranking number 1. So there's no data for this site. Or for this web page. So that's a really good sign. So let's go back and get another one and check it out here. Okay. So let's take a look at sanclementidental.com/emergency. So they're using another inside page to rank, and let's see if this one has any links pointing to it. So let's go ahead and click enter. Wow, this is a pretty strong page. Yet, see, it's the same thing, guys. There's no domains pointing to it, to this URL. So that means the domain authority is ranking this URL. So that's a really good sign also. It means no one is going after this term actually. There's no SEOs physically going after this term to rank. It's only ranking because of the domain authority of the website. It's not ranking because of the URL. The web developer just put this page on there and hopes it's going to rank. So in this case, he got lucky. But in most cases, there's no luck. You have to actually build links to the landing page to get results. So next, let's take this URL and throw it into another website just to analyze it a little bit more. So this website is ahrefs.com, and it's a paid site as well, but it gives you a lot more details to the backlinks than Majestic. Okay, let's go ahead and throw it in here. See what we can get. Okay, yeah, it looks like there's 0 backlinks built to this. So that means that no SEOs are actually going after this key term. Because if this is the number 2 site and the number 1 site and there's no backlinks, that's a very green light to get into this niche. So when you're looking at these URLs, you really want to look at how many backlinks are pointing to the website, how many authority backlinks are pointing, and also what type of anchor text they're using. So you want to make sure that not a lot of the websites ranking on the first page are being optimized by SEOs, because that means there's going to be a lot of competition.